All right, welcome to the second episode of the Happy Little Boards Show. First of all, I appreciate everyone that checked out the first episode. I set my expectations super low for how many people might actually see this thing, because I'm not building off of some platform that I already had or anything like that. This is all coming from scratch, and it was really cool to see how many people watched it. So big thank you for that. And, it's one of those where only after you do the first one do you get to watch back and start to learn, oh, I wish I had done this differently or that differently. So that was cool to take some notes on what I might want to do differently. And one of those things I definitely think is I just want to stick to making the loops, and I'm going to make separate videos about how to use all this stuff if that's something you're interested in. So I've started doing that, and that's exciting because I like talking about pedals. I'm a little bit of a pedal nerd if you haven't noticed that yet. But in any case, so we're just going to hop in to making a loop this time, and I think I have something picked out. Yeah, kind of got a cool sound going here. You can turn that up. I switched the keyboard too. This keyboard is just some thing my parents bought my brother in the mid 90s when he was taking piano lessons for a minute, and it's again, it's equivalent to something you probably find it at Walmart. It just has a headphone jack and a power cord and a bunch of different noises on it. So I thought it would be cool to swap out and check out using something like this that's literally nothing special or out of the ordinary. So yeah, let me turn on some of these pedals. So I've got, just real quick, I've got the JHS 3 series on here with the fuzz and the phaser, and their 3 series is essentially just very simplified effects, no fancy bells and whistles or frills or anything like that, which I love and is perfect for stuff like this. It also lowers the price point, which is awesome. Same with this Walrus Audio Fundamental series. I got a couple of those kind of pedals to try out. This one is called the Ambient, so it's like a form of cool reverb. Again, perfect for this kind of stuff. And then we got the Walrus Audio Slow back on the board because I love that one so much. And again, just perfect for this kind of thing, making cool, relaxing noises. So let's hit record. Let's turn on some of these pedals. I'm just gonna turn on these 3. And let's see, leave that there. Turn these knobs a tiny bit. Sounds cool to me. So we'll let that fade out for a second, and then hit record. And we're going to start looping. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of letting my eyes pick out a note to play. I'm sticking to the white keys again because you can't really go wrong hitting anything there, and I think that there's nothing wrong with that because we're not being musical. We're just playing with sounds here. So I was actually talking with a friend about that I made the first episode of the show, and just chatting, and at one point I used the common phrase, baby steps, and for whatever reason, after the conversation, I kind of found myself marinating on that phrase, baby steps. And, we kind of use it in terms of like, doing some little bit of something, like, oh, I'm working towards a goal and I just did this tiny little thing. But I stopped and thought about it for a second, and I think something important to remember about, if you actually think about baby steps, like being a baby and what that's like for a baby, is a baby step, like taking your first steps, that is monumental, like world changing, earth shattering progress that you made. Like, you go from crawling around and seeing all these other giant humans moving around you, probably feels like 100 miles an hour, and next thing you know, you get up and you learn to stand, and then that moment comes for your first steps, and you wiggle and wobble through, and everyone around you is cheering and taking videos, and you take your first couple steps and whoa, my God, and it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. But it's just a baby step. And I think it's important to remember that when you're starting something new or trying something new and different to you that might even be scary, a baby step from your perspective is massive. It's a massive accomplishment. You did that first thing, and a lot of times that first thing is the hardest thing to do. And that's kind of how I felt like starting this project. And as I'm saying that, I'm waiting for this above camera to beep at me and turn off like it did last time. But yeah, I don't know, I just took a moment to like kind of stop and think about that. I don't know why it really even crossed my mind. But yeah, like a baby step for something in your life, it actually can be this huge thing that you do. And from maybe people's perspective that aren't doing that thing you're doing or have been doing it for a long time, they might look at it fondly and be like, that's awesome. But, to them it doesn't feel like as big of a deal as it is to you. But that doesn't make it any less important to what you're doing, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, I just wanted to take a minute and share that like little moment of clarity that I had, because I thought it was important for me in terms of doing this to really like remind myself that like this was a baby step, but yeah, that's a huge thing for me, and it was important to treat it that way and think of it that way. Ooh, that's loud. Let's turn that on. Turn that down. Let's turn this on. Why not? Why not? Let's. Ooh, I like that with pushing two notes, so we're gonna stick with that. So I'm gonna hit record and go for another layer here. I think sometimes it's important to stick to mixing it up, where like with the first layer here, I kind of danced around the notes, and Or this one, I'm gonna kind of keep pushing the same thing. I picked like 2 things and then just kind of bouncing back and forth between that. That's very cool. I like that. Ah, feeling more relaxed already. Take a deep breath here. There's been times when I've been doing this and I forget to keep going because I just sit and take deep breaths and listen to what I've been doing so far. Alright, so we got 2 good layers here. Let me try to incorporate this fuzz pedal here. I don't even know what I'm set at, but that looks cool to me. And then let's maybe switch this to that and just kind of turn some things down. Sure, that looks good. And then maybe we'll do this one. So again, like, as I've said before, it's nice to get to know these pedals, and I'm gonna show you guys like more about how they work. If this is something you get, you know, I can help teach you how to navigate it. But at the same time, you know, if you have time, just sit and sometimes it's fun to even just take one pedal and sit and play with it and twist the knobs and see what happens. And you get to kind of learn it in your own way because they're not complicated, and it's easy to kind of get used to what they do and feel that out. So let me switch what we're at here. There we go, that's cool. Oh, and that's on. I forgot that one was even on. Let's turn that off. Hey, that sounds cool to me. Let's see what happens if we add this guy in there. I love it. So I'm gonna turn that up a hair. There we go. Okay. Let's hit record. Get this layer going. Yeah, let's hang out up here and I like these higher notes. That seems cool. It's okay if it doesn't come all the way back around. Be a nice little surprise for when that stuff starts kicking in. Okay, turn. Ooh. There we go. There it is. Alright, so now let's switch this, move these things around at random. Let's do that. Let's go like that, and the blend, and this, and switch that to that, and this to that, and this there, and let's just wiggle some knobs. Turn this on and that on. Let's see, what should I pick? Let's try this. What about the ocarina? Ooh. Hey, that sounds great. All right. Everything's wonderful where it is, so I'm just gonna hit record, get this last layer on there, and I think this is sounding awesome. If I didn't say this already, forgive my sort of nasally voice today. I'm finishing up with a cold. That sounds nice. And again, like, I kind of found like, you know, like doing one note, skipping a note, and then another note, and pushing those two together. And so I'm just, there he goes. Okay, we lost the overhead camera. I think I hear where we started. Either way, sounds good to me. All right. Episode 2. Talked about some stuff. We made an awesome loop. I don't know if you feel more relaxed, but I certainly do. Turn that up a little for you. And so, if you're interested in downloading a copy of this loop so you can listen to it, if you want to listen to it, I honestly, half the time I make these, I listen to them at night and end up falling asleep with them on. So that'll be available in the description of this video. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe and all that stuff. Unfortunately, that's what I have to beg you to do in order to help promote me doing this. It helps support me doing this by telling YouTube that you liked it. And I wish it was as easy as just checking it out, but if you don't mind doing those things for me, I would very much appreciate it, and I promise to keep making these videos and making them as awesome as possible. And I will leave it at that for this episode 2 of the Happy Little Board Show. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, take a deep breath, take a moment, and take a baby step. All right, see you next time.